for y'all. Because going back to the Chinese, do y'all think Chinese and Korean anime taking over Japanese anime?
No.
Do you want the honest answer or do you want the political answer?
I want whatever answer you're willing to give me.
So I don't think so. No, like as far as anime in general, no. I think Japan still has one of the most, if not the most, preservative culture on the planet. And I think for certain reasons, like those video ideas that I was going over with you yesterday on, some of those are predicated off of that consistency. So I don't think that they're going to be taking it over in that respect, but hear me out though.
Okay.
And this is not to be racist or anything.
I'm here with you.
I know you are. The production cost for Korean and Chinese anime might be lower than the Japanese workforce. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I think that might
literally.
That's a strong word to use, but
they do. It's by population.
Not really. I mean, I would just say they have a.
Well, most anime studios outsource most of their stuff. China doesn't have to outsource a lot of. They got most of the outsourcing that most anime studios are in China anyway.
Most of the workers are in house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's say that. Let's see. Let's
trying to be politically like, bro. Let's keep it a buck, bro.
I'm not saying that it's a sweatshop or full of kids or anything. I'm just saying like it's
all right.
But like the currency and everything, like it might actually be cheaper, and like Nick said earlier, the manpower that they have. It probably is easier for China to just out a bunch of anime that, even though the story may be, the animation quality is going to be at a higher baseline, I would say. Probably more consistent.
How about you, Z?
And that may or may not be due to, go ahead, Zane. Just go.
How about you, Z?
I say no, and one main reason is because a lot of it's going to take a lot of at least a minute to get used to like, for example, with To Be Hero X, they released that in multiple languages off the rip. It's going to take a minute, because if they were to drop a whole bunch of their good manuals and shit in just like Chinese or Korean, it's going to take a minute to get used to it. I think it's good. That's one. And then two, it's like they're gonna have to it's like LB was saying, it's gonna have to be like the consistency and rate of good shows that they're gonna have to drop. They got hitters that they do plan to drop in the next couple of years that they've already announced, but it's gonna take like at least they're gonna have to drop it at a decently high clip for it to be everywhere people are looking at it, and for them to just look at it like, just let it be Korean, so that they can at least establish their own difference between manga anime, Japanese anime and Chinese or Korean anime.
You think it's gonna take that long though? Like for them to hop on the wave?
I feel like they're gonna need a higher clip of anime.
I know, but like you seen how easy it was for white and black bitches to hop on like the K-pop wave, like, you know what I mean? Like on the idol. I'm just saying like that was almost overnight, like a switch. I'm just saying like the same thing, man.
I don't know if it was just overnight.
How many K-pop fangirls have you seen before 2020?
There's a lot.
I'm not saying there's no fans. Like I'm talking about specifically foreigners. Like I'm just saying, like
in America there was a lot.
It's gonna take a while, but then it's always gonna need that one catalyst where people are gonna be like, oh my god, these guys are just so good. Like I think what BTS or some shit was, because I'm not really into K-pop, but it was like around that time when BTS was really popping around them, and that's what influxed a whole bunch of like wider audience. For example, anime wasn't seen as highly in like, let's say, the mid to late 90s before Dragon Ball and One Piece and Naruto broke its way to like the Western culture. that's where a whole lot more eyes were on it, and people were getting into more different
That
anime.
was kind of the 80s, yeah. But yeah, I see where you're coming from.
80s, yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
So
it's not like
I
it's
mean,
not. It's,
there were catalysts to even introduce it too, like
so you
like I said before, fucking Speed Racer, Astro Boy, Kenshin.
Yeah. But that even there, it's like it's gradual, but then there's gonna come a time where there's this big, like undisputed thing that's just gonna
to make it mainstream.
Yeah. But I think it's gonna have to come to a point where it's kind of mainstream for them to see it as its own separate thing compared to like Japanese anime.
Yeah, Dragon Ball would definitely be the catalyst.
So are y'all saying that they need like a Toonami type of thing or some shit? Or is it need? Or
That would
they're
help.
gonna need like that. It would help, but they're gonna need like a
curators,
streamlined network where they can.
100%.
Yeah, where it just booms. You know?
Where you can like if Webtoon the website Webtoon where they drop all their like manuals. If they made like a Korean / Chinese channel or streaming service for just animes that they're making our manuals and
well, they kind of already have that though. Like
imagine
because when I was telling you
imagine
earlier,
a Funimation for like
for
China or something like that. Yeah.
No, I was just saying like they already have that with Billy, like the anime I was telling y'all I was watching, the one about the whale. I forgot what the name of it is. But like they already display like a lot of their anime on that channel for free, like the whole episode for free, and they even have compilations for the full thing already on there. So I'm saying like, do y'all think they need like, what else do they need to like push that? Like, do they need like an Attack on Titan level, Demon Slayer level?
I think it means their own platform. You know what I mean? Like
something separate from Crunchyroll, right?
Yeah, something separate from a channel than just to stream episodes on
their own streaming service,
their own
Netflix,
you know what I mean?
their own Peacock, their own something.
Gotcha.
Their own what?
Their own Peacock, their own Netflix, their own. All right, bro.
No, okay, because let me ask y'all this, because y'all remember when they first tried to introduce Korean anime with the I guess the original big three, right? What was it? It was Tower God, God of High School, and
God of High School,
Nobilis, I think it was called, the vampire one, which I like that one a lot more than both of those two. But all relatively, can we say that all three of them kind of flopped? Yeah, at least in the retrospective, like popularity. Why isn't it like?
I think Nobilis might be the only one that flopped. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Even though I love that show, that show was better than both of them.
Tower God had like its own fan base. God of High School had its fan base just literally only because of the fights.
Yeah,
and
no, the mangas were also like really popular.
No, I'm just talking strictly.
Yeah, and
I'm talking strictly like the anime.
But just for the anime. Just for the anime, yeah, Tower God had his own fan base for just the anime.
They were hype as hell, but God of High School didn't have like a season 2. I feel like if it had a season 2, it would have continued the hype that it had, but it just kind of stopped.
I even think around that time, people were just saying that it was just good for the boxing.
Yeah, I think people were settling just for the boxing. I do. But I will say with the Chinese anime, I think personally, the only barrier that's really keeping Chinese anime from like really being like bigger than Japanese anime, other than obviously the years of Japanese animation just being there, I really think it's the language. And hear me out. When I say language, I'm talking about, I feel like when niggas got used to Japanese like very quickly. Like, let's be real. Like even reading the sub or even dubbed, whatever, like whatever you prefer. I feel like, and I don't want it's not be sounding race. Nothing. I'm just being honest. You watch a Chinese anime, the animation may be good, but them niggas be having run-on sentences like crazy, and it be kind of throwing off. That's all. It be kind of throwing.
It's because I don't think it's that people got used to Japanese quickly. I think it's just years and years of people just watching anime. Honestly,
I was gonna say we have if you want to give like a broader spectrum on it, like we technically do have more cultural language experience with Japan than China, technically. Like if you look at the entirety of the West Coast, you know what I mean, like specifically Japanese people for not so great reasons,
and
but
everything.
You know what I mean? Like
leave politics out of it.
1900s and all that.
Not even just politics, just culture in terms of like.
I was just saying, because like a good example is like like Central America, like Telemundo and shit, like other foreign shows that niggas grew up on, they're more like integrated and familiar with it, just because we share like a longer history with it. You know what I mean? Like
I can't agree with that
when it
because
comes to shit like
we had
Korea,
kung fu
like,
we had kung fu movies that were literally like, what are you talking about? We had kung fu.
they were dubbed though.
Not all of them.
The kung fu movies were not all of them, but like that's a specific type of Chinese media. It's not just Chinese media, period. With Japan, it was all the media. It was like movies, video games, anime, like what I mean? Same thing with Mexico, like with the fucking Telemundo and shit.
I mean,
sometimes with foreign games, foreign movies.
I kind of agree with that, but then I had to think about like most. Well, I don't know if this is more of just one way example, but like I feel like when an anime became very popular, it was still because of the dub. Like niggas didn't even know half these animes were actual like Japanese made. So like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon and shit like that. Like a lot of people are more used to, because I was talking about this with somebody earlier, like, bro, there's no way I can watch Dragon Ball Z. Well, there was a point in time where I couldn't watch Dragon Ball Z other than the American dub. Like, because that's just what niggas would grew up on, bro. So
I understand.
Like, I feel like knowing that now it's, well, obviously years knowing that it's Japanese now, but like, I think it's a little bit too late for that when it comes to China, because like, they don't have like nothing that's like got introduced from like to the Westerners that is like we didn't know it was, and then like they just slowly integrate all their shit into making it like more acceptable, like because it's an easy graduation going from English dub to like sub, if we're gonna be honest, because the show's big, so it's like you want to watch more, and then you're like, oh, what the fuck is this language? But they got subtitles for it. It's like, wait, this shit sound kind of cool. It's like when you listen to China, like the Chinese like sub shit, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, kind of throwing niggas off a little bit. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. I ain't trying to be racist.
I just think it's just the exposure over the years.
I'm not sure.
I just think it's like we've just been exposed more to like the Japanese language, the Japanese culture, and everything. So it was easier digestible for us to like get into English subbed compared to we hardly have any knowledge on like the Chinese language and the culture compared to the Japanese language and the culture. So that's why
the kung fu movies is a good point though. Like if it's talking about familiarity, but like we don't have as much familiarity as we do with like other foreign media producers, to where we can kind of just archetype it into our culture. Like with the Dragon Ball thing, I don't think it's necessarily that niggas didn't know it was Japanese. It's just that people breached the gap so well that even if they knew or didn't know it was Japanese, they still would watch it in the first place. Some people can know something is Chinese and be like, still, I wouldn't watch that. You know,
like another example is like you know Money Heist. I swear that's in Spanish, but because we know about the Spanish language, the Spanish culture to a certain degree and everything, that's an easy digestible thing for us to get used to and watch. You know
but technically,
compared to watching something in Chinese or
like in Korean or something.
Yeah, I get you. Well, I don't know, because Korean kind of getting up there for real. I'm not gonna lie, because hey, you know, bro, like because we niggas have been on a whole binge of watching the Glory.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I feel like
it's getting there. It's getting there.
It's
still gonna take a little bit of time.
I'm gonna be honest. I think for me, and it's like no racial. I think because Korean like the Korean like language, it feels more soothing than like the Chinese language. I don't know if this sounds racist or not. I'm sorry if I am offending, but like I feel like when I'm watching the Korean dub of the shit, like I can't. Nigga. Bro, I'm not trying to. I promise. I'm just keeping it a buck. But like when you watch like the Korean shows, like I feel like it feels easier to watch, because even though I don't understand the language, like it still feels like way easier to be like, okay, like this shit. It's not too harsh of like the language is not too harsh of a language to like try to be like, okay, this is like unbearable for me to watch because these niggas, I don't understand what's going on outside of being, because I'm not Korean or like not Japanese. So that's why I'm saying like when it comes to Korean shit versus Chinese shit, like when I watch like something like Supercube or like goddamn any of these other, like the Chinese movie we watched, I think it was called The Legend of He. As much as I love that movie's fucking amazing.
Shaolin Soccer.
That shit, we're not gonna talk about
you never seen Shaolin Soccer?
I never seen Shaolin Soccer, but I do want to watch it though. But like outside all that shit, I just feel like for me, like when I watch like the Glory, Squid Games, or even like any of like the other Korean shows niggas be watching, it just feels more I don't know what the word I want to say without it. Just if it, I think it's because it seems like it's more adjacent to Japanese that I feel like I know what I like. It feels more easier on the ears to listen to than
Feel more
Chinese.
familiar.
Like, yeah, it feels more familiar.
I think I'd argue that we've been more exposed to Korean media as well as opposed to
I was about
Chinese,
to
but
say.
like still on that topic, like I would know because I got forced into Korean culture when I joined the ITF and I had to travel to Brazil, Korea, whatever, and I could see visually people in the West like picking up on Korean culture more and more and more, and it was kind of post dictator arc blow up, you know what I mean? So
For those who don't know,
was
can
a
you explain
big
what
move.
ITF is?
It's a International Taekwondo Federation.
What?
So
Oh, shit.
International Taekwondo Federation. So there's people that like not most people in America will do this, but I was really unlucky to be caught smack dab in the middle of martial arts practitioners that were following the religion. You had to speak the language a little bit, you know what I mean? And I think I mentioned it earlier, like in the years knowing you, but one of my senseis actually played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Nigga, what?
So
Wait,
when
I
I
didn't
seen
know.
it again,
Oh shit.
What the fuck? I didn't know that
Yeah.
shit. What the hell? All right,
yeah,
well,
Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa. So
Well.
so when I rewatched the movies again, it was kind of like nostalgic in a sense.
yeah, that's kind of crazy. Well,
Oh,
shout out LB for basically being Goku himself. I know Taekwondo's not.
Goku's
That joke
crazy.
was trash. Anyway, let's move on. Next topic.
Back to the sweatshops.
Let-